30. Devotional Thoughts for Women, written by Monica Diaz, read by Belinda Sainsbury. A pleasant good morning, dear friends. Our devotional reading for today, March the 14th, is entitled Sometimes Faith Comes First and Then Conviction. No one wants to be defined by their life's greatest internal struggle. Harriet Lerner. Jesus' command to judge, not lest you be judged, was a problem for me as I began my Christian walk. I believed that judging was something we did in self-defense, a protective mechanism against certain people who were harmful. However, I could not cover the sun with my thumb. The phrase was there again and again. Judge not, lest you be judged. That is Jesus telling me, Monica, don't judge anyone, so that the Father will not judge you. Or, in other words, condemn you by that judgment you might think is correct, but is certainly not. So, I decided to put it into practice by faith, still not being fully convinced of why it's necessary not to judge. In time, my brain adapted to the practical experience of trying not to judge. I confess I still don't manage to avoid it entirely. I began to understand why it is such a big mistake to judge others. When we judge, we reduce that person to the fault we see in them. And I wish the way we view others were right, but it rarely is. Truthfully, it's an injustice to reduce someone to one of their faults, mistakes, or sins. No one wants to be defined by the greatest internal struggle they have in life. You are not that vulnerable instance of your past you once told someone about in confidence. You are not the stigma that has been pegged on you at church because of a mistake you made. You are not the depression that is trying to tie you down right now. You are not your character faults. You are not the marriage failure you experienced. And whoever wants to reduce you to that has not yet understood Christ's message or the divine power to transform people. That's why I encourage you to normalize in your life the habit of not judging, of not reducing other human beings to their internal struggles. After all, what you can see is barely a tip of the iceberg in their lives. What shows on the surface? The deepest and most meaningful part is hidden from you, but not from God, who works for salvation by refining that ice. If you are still unable to understand that, take the step of putting it into practice by faith. You will soon come to understand. Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. Matthew chapter 7 verses 1 and 2.